Welcome to another tutorial. And today, you might be wondering, where the heck has Chrognar been? Did he fall off a cliff? No. Has he been busy at work? Yes. But that's not the reason why I'm not doing tutorials. I haven't been doing tutorials because I've been making games. And can't really talk about them because they're not real ready to share with people yet. But I thought you all should know how to use GlobalDict and how to save a game in UPBGE, because I think people get frustrated that they can't just like drag and drop some stuff to save, and I think that makes you weak, like a weak puppy that can't fend for itself. And you need your master to come and tell you how to use Global Dictionary and how to save games, because otherwise you'll just quit. And I don't like quitters. They also say those who can't do teach. And the reason I haven't been here is because I'm a doer, not a teacher. That being said, I'm going to teach you how to use GlobalDict, the global dictionary in the Blender game engine, because you deserve to know, because you are beautiful and wonderful people. Alright, so let's get started. So first, in Blender, let's go ahead, or in BGE, let's go ahead and add a cube. Let's raise it up by pressing G and Z, because you guys need everything spelled out for you. Control A, plane, scale it out. Wow, it's not like every other tutorial about Blender, huh? Next, we'll go ahead and add a color under the materials. Let's make this guy green. Let's go to render view so you see him. Oh, look, isn't that nice and great lighting? Oh, let's make the ground kind of orange and brown. There we go. All right, and then we'll go scale this up a big ways. And let's leave the block under the light for now. We need some stuff to interact with, so let's, so we want to save the game, so we want to save the state of things, right? Saving the game state, right? So we're going to add a cylinder, move it up, change its color to blue. We'll duplicate it a few times with Shift D, in case we want to change the data in each individual object, but yeah, we're going to need to do that. We don't need to instance it right now. Just copy it, duplicate it. Okay. And we'll give each of these physics type of rigid body so they can get knocked around. Alright, good. And we'll give him the type of character. And we're going to create a collection here called Stuff to Save, which will not include this plane. It'll include everything else. So right click, new collection. Let's give it a name. stuff to save. Select our objects we want, and we'll press N or M in the viewport to move them to stuff to save. Excellent. And then we're going to create 2 text blocks. So we'll go back to scene collection, do Shift A. Let's find where our camera is. Our camera's in an uninteresting place, so let's go up, move it up. Press R to rotate. Z to do this. Go. Z twice to do this. G for go. Put up a little bit more. Then rotate by pressing R, then X to tilt it down. And R. Z to pan it. Yeah, let's make it look more interesting. And we're gonna copy these lights. So move you up, and we'll shift to duplicate you and move you over here. Over there. Over there. And over there. Alright. Got our little scene set up. Let's find a good camera view for all this. This looks like a good spot. Then we'll go view, align active camera to view, rotate on the y-axis, no, rotate on the local y, so we'll press R and then Y twice. Doesn't like that. Let's do R and Z twice. There we go. Got some tilt there. Good. Go G and double Z and back out. Alright, we got everything there. Okay, let's add some keyboard control. Well, actually, yeah. Yeah, we gotta do that. Because we gotta save the game state, so we have to change it. So we'll go ahead and add a control here. So class, keyboard control. And we're using KX Python component because it's the greatest class ever made. Whoever made it, you are the best. It's important to know that people make these things, right? That let us use them. Next, we got update. Okay, good. Okay, let's create our keyboard controls real quick. So keyboard is equal to bg.logic.keyboard. And then we'll do W is equal to, not capital W. W is equal to bg.events dot W key A is equal to BGE dot events dot A key S equal to BGE dot events dot S key D is equal to BGE dot events dot D key. And we create our logic motion. If W in, oops. If W in keyboard dot active inputs. Make it move on the y-axis, so self dot object dot apply movement. We should put these in update, huh? Let's do that. Let's add some variables here. We need, what do we need in the start? So we need need add an argument for speed, so we'll say movement speed, and that'll be of type float. And we'll say self.movement speed, or self.speed is equal to args movement speed. There we go. And update, what we can do is next we'll create another one called speed, self.speed. We'll put it down update, I don't care. So do speed is equal to, no, we're fine. We'll do one called stop. Stop is equal to 0, 0, 0 in a list that has 0, 0, 0. Actually, there's a fancier way to do this. Let's call this one move and set to 0, 0, 0. Let's make sure it's a float. Let's move it up here. We'll create another one called stop is equal to the same thing. Now we don't need it. We just need move. Okay. No, we do need stop. Okay. Okay, so we got our list of 3 values. We need 3 values because we're going to be moving on X and Y axis, but we need Z to stay 0. Okay, that's fine. And what we'll do instead of apply movement is we'll say if W in keyboard, and these need to be self.move and self.stop. If W is an active keyboard, we're going to say self.move We're going to be moving on the y-axis with W. So self.move 1 is equal to self.speed. If A in keyboard, active inputs, self dot. So A is going to be moving on the x-axis to the left, so move. Move 0 is equal to self dot negative self dot speed. If S in keyboard, active inputs, self dot S is going to be going negative on the y-axis, so self.move 1 is equal to negative speed, negative self.speed. And if D in keyboard, so, oh, this is right. It's going right, so there we go, self.speed. All right, so keyboard movement is set up, except we got the keyboard input set up, but now we have to apply the movement. So what we'll do is we'll say self.object dot apply movement, and then move. And then also, if none of these keys are being pressed, we'll say else self dot move is equal to self dot stop. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's go over this real quick. So we got self.move, which is just a zeroed out list of 3 values. We got self.stop, it's the same thing. We press the keyboard, we change the value of this array at the 1 position, which is the y-axis, to the increased speed. You know, these all basically affect their different axes. So 0 affects the x-axis, 1 affects the y-axis. And by doing it this way, we only have to do self-applied movement once instead of putting it 4 times in our code. So it looks nicer and probably uses less memory and is probably better performing because these are already pre-processed in memory and we're just changing them. So, you know, fun stuff. Next. I mean, granted, performance doesn't matter when you're using Python because, you know, it's not like we're making Red Dead Redemption or something. All right, next. So we'll go ahead and test our movement. So we'll save it. Reload our script. And with our cube selected, we'll add the component called toot8 dot, what do I call this one? Keyboard control. And we'll set the speed to 0.3 for now, because usually that's a good speed, or 0.4. We'll do 0.4. Now we'll play it real quick. Bring it over. And nothing's working. Because it says we have a key error movement speed. So if I select my cube, it means I misspelled something. Just call it speed. Oh, that's what I did. I put 3 E's in it. Okay. We'll try again. Bring it over. There we go. It's kind of fast. Slow it down a lot. .04. It's kind of engaging. Doesn't stop, so it's kind of like a weird bumper game. Alright, we'll stop that. Oh, I should probably show it to you here. There we go. We got our strange bumper game. Let's hit one of these, see if it moves. Yep, there we go. Yay. Ah, okay. Alright, that's fine. Oh, let's go ahead and add some walls real quick to this. So we'll switch to line mode. Extrude a wall up. Extrude a wall up. Extrude a wall up. Extrude a wall up. Switch to face select. Extrude that out. Okay, there we go. We'll set the camera to this position. So view, align view, align active camera to view. And we'll select our camera in object mode and zoom out. So if you get this gray stuff happening from zooming out too much, you can actually go to options here. No. Press the end menu, go to view, change the clip start, and add a couple zeros in there. And make it 2000. Doesn't like it. Oh, I can always select everything and scale it all down. Oops. Yeah, scale it all down. Yeah. Select everything. Ah, nope. everything except the camera. So shift click on the nope. Control click on the camera, then scale it all down. There we go. Then we'll zoom in on it. All right. Now we'll play it real quick. Good deal. All right. Next, we're going to go ahead and make the character be able to stop when we don't have a key. So we'll say if W or S not in keyboard. This is a crappy way to do inputs, but I don't care. Oh, we could actually do it for all of them, huh? We don't need this else. All you can do here is make it the first order of things. I guess we're going to have to do it per each. That's fine. That's going to create a bug. I'm not doing it this way. Let's do it this way. 4. Key press in. Okay, that should make it stop when we do stuff. We'll get to GlobalDict soon, I promise. Because I love me some GlobalDict. Dict. Okay. And we got disable sliding. Let's raise the friction to 1 point. Yeah, let's try 10. See if that makes it slow down. Changing the direction of these so they correspond with the keys, and then we should be ready to go. Okay, whatever. This is about saving. I don't care what the controls do. All right, next. We're going to go ahead and create a text so we can get display of the character's position on screen. So we'll do class display text. Again, it inherits from the greatest class ever, KX Python component. And we'll do self.position text. Is equal to, actually, only we don't need it here. Just put it in the update. So we'll do self.media start in every component. We'll pass. And we'll do, here we need self.object property called text is equal to, we got to import the player object. So our player is called cube. Let's go ahead and change his name to player. So we'll do player is equal to self.scene.object self.object, sorry. No, it's just equal to object. Let's get this fixed. Okay. Self.object.scene.objects player, and then the text that will be displayed will be the player's position. So text will be equal to a string of self of player dot world position. And we'll go ahead and convert that to a list also, because I don't want to see vector equals whatever in there. So we'll say it's a list of, there we go. Good. And then we'll create our text. We'll move our cursor here, add our text. Rotate it on Z-axis by 180. Rotate it on X by 90. By 270. Bring it up. Rotate it on Z. And we'll get it closer to our camera. Where are you, camera? Oh, you're way the hell out there. Oh, we'll put it on our cursor. Okay. Oops, that's the wrong one. I selected the text. To cursor. There we go. Move you down here. Rotate you on the local X. There we go. Rotate, give it a nice bright color. Make it emission. Set to 1.5. There we go. And shrink it down. There we go. Okay, then with this text object selected, we'll add the, I've got to save this thing and reload it. Then we'll add 28 dot display text. Okay. Then when we play it, we should see the world position of the player displayed where this text is. And it is, and it's kind of big. So we'll shrink it down a bit. Scale down, and we'll try it again. There we go. We got the list of our coordinates, and as I move it, it updates. So isn't that great? All right. So the reason we did that is so you can see that this player.world position is a value that updates constantly every frame, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to save this to the global dictionary. And to prove it to you, we're going to duplicate our text again here. So we'll do Shift D. And next we'll do we're going to copy this display text class. Paste it here. And we're going to call this display GDict. And what we'll do here is we'll change this string in the display text to bge.logic.globalDict. And then on this text, we'll get rid of display text, and we'll save this. We'll change this to gdict display, toot8.display gdict, if I can spell it right. And now if we play it, you're going to see that we got nothing here. We got a single character. This is actually two characters. That's the brackets for the dictionary. And down here we got our we got nothing. I mean, we got the position of the player. So we have the position of the player in 3D space, and we got that. Isn't that great? All right, next. So as you can see, if I go ahead and even print this out, I'm going to add a print string here. Oh, okay. I'm going to go ahead and print BGE logic.globalDict. So GlobalDict is basically a C class or C++ class in the BGE game engine that kind of gives you like an empty dictionary in RAM, basically. That just, it's always there. It's empty unless you use it. There's also another one called Dict, which is specific to the object you're using. So that one is self.object. I won't show it yet. We'll do this one first. So we'll print GlobalDict. You'll see right down here we have an empty dictionary. All right. So what we're going to do now is let's go ahead and print Dict real quick just so you can see what it is. So what Dict is it's like GlobalDict, except it's just attached to the object that you're using, that you have the code on. And this one will be on this little text here, right? So if I print this one, you'll see also it's an empty dictionary. So if you're like a multiple file person, right, you can do GlobalDict to one file and each individual object's Dict to separate files and make a big convoluted mess. But we're not going to do that. We're only going to use GlobalDict. Also, the reason for that is GlobalDict, the point of attribute dict is basically to, it's another way to store properties that are that's like faster access, because the dictionary is already preprocessed. It's there. It's in C, and so you can just like save attributes and different properties to attrodict instead of creating a property. You can't, but there are some properties that are exposed to BGE, like text here on a text object. So, you need to read the API docs and know your shit. Pardon me for swearing. All right, next, what are we going to do? Next, we're going to go ahead and save the world position to the dictionary. So, what do I got here? Okay, I got a class here called useGdict. So what it's going to do is we're going to create an update. We're going to basically use BGE dot logic dot globaldict, and you access a dict like any dictionary, any property. So we create a key for it. It's usually string, and we'll call this player position. And we're going to set it equal to self.object.world position. And we'll even make it a list, a string of a list. Just like, no, we need it to be a list so we can use it somewhere else. We're going to need it to be a list so we can use it somewhere else. So do a list. There we go. So now we're actually starting to use GlobalDict. It's not going to be empty bracket, any empty curly braces anymore. There's going to be something in it. And theoretically, because we're updating GlobalDict, our text at the top here should change. And then the world position at the bottom will still update the same. So here we go. Let's save it again. Just to be sure. Then on our player, if I can select the right tool, we're going to add a property called, we're going to add the component use GDict. So use GDict. All right, now when we play, the top text should say player position and then a list of its X, Y, and Z. So here we go. Okay, that's interesting. Unexpected. Oh, I know why, because it's a list. We got to just print the GlobalDict. There we go. Because dictionary is not a list, it is a dictionary. Next, we'll try it again. First, we got save. Reload. Press P to play the game. There we go. So now we have the GlobalDict being printed out on the screen. So now we actually have data saved to a dictionary we can reference and access, right? Isn't that great? So now we have data in RAM of the player's position, right? Or data saved, right? In the dictionary. We can now save it to a file. I mean, we could have done this with any variable. You could save any variable to a file, but I guess yeah. The purpose of GlobalDict is you can save it in RAM so you can update those values between different scenes, right? So I'll just show it to you here. You can try it on your own. I'm going to show you how to save it to a file in a minute. So what we're going to do is you got to go ahead and create a keyboard here. And press, say F1 is equal to then if we're going to have to do this one. We're going to want to do it with just active input, so we'll do it just release. So released is equal to bg.logic.kx kx input just released. Say if released in keyboard.inputs f1.q. What we can do is do bge.logic. save GlobalDict. Then we'll create a load key with F3. We'll do if you don't know how to do keyboard controls in BGE, just go to UPBGE.org and go to documentation in a web browser. It's like the first thing they teach you under getting started or something. Or if you go to the BGE logic section in the API docs, there's a whole script right there. So feel free to copy along with me. So if we do F3, we're going to do BGE logic. Load GlobalDict. And then the next thing we need to do is oh, it has to be called released. Okay. So after it loads, what we'll do is we'll make it, we have to import sleep module just so it'll not data erase on us. It's probably not needed, but we're being careful. Import, so from time import sleep. There we go. Only need like a 1/10 of a second. So it'll load the GlobalDict, and then we'll sleep for 0.2 seconds. And then what we'll do is we'll get the player. Actually, we'll go ahead and attach the script onto the player. So we'll just do self.object. If you're dealing with a bigger game, you'd probably want to attach the script to an empty. But we'll do self.object dot world position is equal to bg dot logic dot GlobalDict player position. All right, so here's what's going to happen. We're going, one thing to know about GlobalDict is as long as Blender stays up, that data will be saved in the GlobalDict save state. And so, like, you could quit the game and come back. So I'll show you this now. So we got BG Logic save GlobalDict. We got BG Logic load GlobalDict. So when we press F1, it'll save the global dictionary into RAM. When we save, press F3 will load from the RAM to the GlobalDict, and then it will change the world position of the player character to the saved player position. So now if we press reload, now if we press play, he's moving around. Oh, I've got to attach this to the character. It ain't going to work. Okay. So player selected. We've got to add component. And we'll add toot8 dot save gdict. Okay, it's on there. Now if we press play, okay, we need invisible, but like, okay. I probably fall off the screen. Oh no, he's there. Okay, so we'll save right there. All right, so I press F1. We quit the game, and now if I load the game, okay, here's our guy. If I press F3, did I get any errors? Let's try playing this again and see if I get errors real quick. I don't have any errors, but did I misspell something? Nope. We need to see if this is working. Let's move this up to the top. Do print saved. And we don't need to print the dictionary anymore. It's still printing it. Why? Any other print statements? Print save, print loaded. Okay, because I didn't save it. There we go. All right, so if I press F1, first let's move it around a bit. Okay, then I'll press F1. Okay, it says it saved it. Now if I press F3, hey, it changed its position. So, and now if I quit the game, and I load it up again, press F3, change position. Then I can move it over, press F1, save the GlobalDict. Then I can press F3, and it's went back to the position we saved at. Okay. So GlobalDict will store that information until Blender or UPBGE is closed here. So that's how you save it in RAM. So if you need to save values like HP or hit points or life bar or something between different blend files, using save GlobalDict, and then like save GlobalDict when the blend file ends, and then when you're loading a new blend file at the start, do load GlobalDict, and like your items and stuff will stay with the character properties, right, if they're saved in GlobalDict. But how do we want to save this to a file so we can bring it back? So we'll go ahead and use the same thing, but we'll clear out save GlobalDict and load GlobalDict. And we'll actually save this to a file. So for this, with dictionaries, I was using JSON for a while, but it turns out you have to use pickle because, well, it depends. If you make sure all your keys are, if all your keys and indexes and values, like if they're all text, you can use JSON for the key value, for the key section. For your values can be any data type, but your keys all have to be text with JSON for it to work right in the game engine. But there's something better. It's called pickle. And we can say pickle to a binary format so the data can't be read and messed with. Unless someone's smart enough to know how, which is not terribly hard, but I'm not going to tell you because I don't want you to hack stuff. But it's pretty easy. All right. So what we'll do here now is instead of saving GlobalDict to RAM here by using save GlobalDict, we'll do if F1 is pressed, we'll create a file. So with open save game, we'll call it save game 0. Let's make it caps case for fun. Save game 0 and write in binary. That's what the WB of the second part is here. And assign it to a variable as file. Then what we'll do is we're going to use pickle. Pickle dump. And our object is going to be BGE logic.globalDict and file. So what this will do is this will create a file called save game 0, and it'll store the global dictionary to that file. And then we'll do another one called load GlobalDict. Well, I mean, we'll get rid of load GlobalDict here, and we'll do with open save game 0 RB for read binary as file. We'll do pickle. Oh, we'll say bg.logic.globalDict is equal to pickle. Oh, I gotta fix this. pickle.load file. It'll sleep for 2 seconds, 0.2 seconds. If your GlobalDict gets pretty big, you may want to add a sleep here. So we'll add a sleep for like 0.2 because you want to prevent data racing. And this is an easy way to do it. I mean, there are other ways to do it by like just mining your stuff, but there you go. All right, and then now the thing about sleep is sleep will basically halt all processes on all cores. So until the until the allowed time period. So if you have big operations, they're parallel processing. You can halt everything until the preceding operation is done. And then it waits for a sec. That way everything. There's another one with async, but I don't care. I'm not into it that much. All right. Next is, okay, that's it. So what this is going to do is instead of saving GlobalDict to RAM, what this is going to do is going to save it to a file called SaveGame. And here it'll take GlobalDict and it'll load SaveGame and then assign GlobalDict to the dictionary formatting that's in the pickle file. And then it'll set the world position to where it was previously. So now we should be able to close the game, open it up, and be able to even close Blender. So we'll do that too. So this is how you save your game. I don't need this. I put the load function in the save. So let's get rid of all this stuff. All right, let's save it. Reload it. Press play. Bring it over. All right, we'll move around a bit. Okay, then I'll press F1 to save. Saw it freeze there for a sec. All right, good. Then we'll close the game. And, all right, so we closed our game. Everything's good. Right, now let's go ahead and press play again. And let's say we want to press F3 to load. And it moved to a new position. It was very tiny though. We should do some contrast here. Let's do it again. So we'll play. Move our position. Press F1 to save. Then we'll quit the game. Then we'll press play again. Loads up. And then if I press F3 to load, bam. And it got this off of a file, which means now I could close this. Let's save my blend file though so I don't lose all this because I did this from scratch today. So let's save this as tutorial. Oh, that's stuff from my game. You don't want to see that right now. There we go. More tutorials. Call this blend file toot08.blend. And save. Alright, so that's been saved. So now we can quit Blender or quit BGE. Oops. Great, I gotta do some TMUX stuff here. Alt B, then I believe it's Shift quote. No. Control B, Shift. There we go. Then Control B, Shift down arrow. Now I gotta click here. Control B, Shift down. Oh. Control B, Control down. Oh, there we go. Okay. Then we'll launch Blender again. Learn your TMUX, people. Don't be like me and try and remember everything from a long time ago. All right. So we got our game back loaded. It looks nice again. We went away, we went to our jobs, we went to our wives, we went to our beautiful girlfriends who are awesome. And then, it comes to the end of the day, we're like, damn, I want to play that game, but I want to play from where I started. So now we go in, we press P, and I press F3. Oh my gosh, I'm where I started. Yay. All right. Cool. But now what we want to do is save the game state. So we got a little hint of what we need to do here. So what we got to do is we got to assign everything in our stuff to save collection to the... You know what? I think we've learned enough today. I'll save this file and we'll do a second tutorial, part 2, where now that you know how to save the GlobalDict to a file and load it, go forth, make your games, so now you don't have to be scared that your players can't save anything, right? All right. So that's it for now. Have a good day.